The Karnataka government has decided to put the decision on hold after some severe backlash, not just from political parties, experts, and but also from India Incorporated. Harish Upadhyay now joins us with more. Yes, Harish.
Anand, after severe backlash from the industry bodies and with states like Andhra Pradesh aggressively trying to woo investors, seeing this as an opportunity, the state government has decided to put this entire draft on hold. And in the coming few weeks, you will see the state having once again a consultation process with all the stakeholders and bring in a bill much later, not definitely in the ongoing assembly session, because several within the government were uneasy with this entire draft, including departments like the industries, IT and BT. We've seen ministers like MB Patil and Priyank Kharge from morning trying to assure the industry that this wouldn't hamper their operation in Karnataka or their recruitment. And the Labour Ministry was trying to defend this decision. But finally, the Chief Minister has decided that it's best to go for consultation again, put this decision on hold, speak to everybody, whether it's various language groups here, Kannada Rakshana Vedike and others, the industry bodies, and several labour groups in Karnataka, and then revise the entire draft.
One of the other aspects is that the courts would have not taken kindly, because another move like this by the state of Haryana has not worked with the courts. So why was the Karnataka government insistent on pushing this through? Why were there not broader consultations before the intent to table this bill?
Well, you had at least a defense from the state government coming in that some of these aspects would be advisory in nature. The state wouldn't go after companies who failed to act it, but the industry body wasn't comfortable with the fact that this was being mentioned in the draft, and nowhere was it mentioned that it would be advisory in nature. In fact, the legal advisor to the Chief Minister was very guarded this morning when asked about this. He said they have to go through the law. He also did mention that when it comes to companies and their rights to operate, it is much stronger than what it would be for government organizations, and that's the reason they will have to go through the bill once again. But finally, a better sense prevailing in the government, and the Chief Minister now deciding to put this decision on hold.
Well, thank you for your inputs, Harish. Let's go across to Bhaskar Rao, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, Sanket Yenagi, advocate and leans towards the Congress party, Sampath Ramanan, who's a former FKCCI president, and Abhijit Iyer Mitra, senior fellow, the IPCS. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody. Mr. Sampath Ramanan, my first question to you, how would you respond to this decision where the government has now decided to put this bill on hold?
It's a welcome decision to put it on hold. It's very impractical. You see, I'll be telling you something which will shock you, that I run a very medium type of industry, manufacturing, diesel generating cells, agricultural equipment, industrial equipment and all. We employ about 50 to 100 people depending on the workload. Now, I don't get employees at all. Now, I don't interview the people with questions like, what is your caste, which state you belong to, which is your religion, and all those things. Anybody walking in, I am willing to take if he has got the skill. With the question of saying that, people are not employing Kannadigas, so I am bringing a law to make it enforceable. It's something uncalled for. See, today, the youth, they are not willing to work in industry. That is the condition. We are willing to train them. We are willing to put the entire money for training. But they say, sir, I'll sit at the table, I'll do e-marketing, I'll do the thing on Facebook and other e-mode of doing business, and then I will get the inquiries and follow up on the table. They don't want to come to the factory and work. In such a situation, if a law is brought saying that you must employ Kannadigas alone, it is going to be disastrous. This is my personal opinion.
So you're saying it's not that you're unwilling to hire Kannadigas, it's just that you're not able to find skilled Kannadigas or people who are willing to put in hard yards. They want to look at an alternative form and not get into the shop floor and manufacturing.
Absolutely.
So what's the solution for
reality.
this? Will a bill like this solve it, or something else will solve it?
Exactly, you have asked the right question. In fact, there is one department called CADAM or something, where they have sought our advice. I am also an advisor in ASOCHAM, Regional Council, where I am in the panel of that advisory board on how to skill the people. This is the primary objective of a study undertaken by the Department of Government of Karnataka. I told, several people gave several answers to the question. I told them, first of all, we must invite leading community people to tell them that they should ask their children to study other branches of engineering than ITBT. Everybody wants to go to IT. No other job they want. They want to sit at the table and easily get the money. Now we must educate our parents first to tell them that engineering is the basis of any business or development. Therefore, their children should learn engineering. In fact, Karnataka was the civil engineering pioneer in the country, the electrical engineering pioneer, the automobile engineering pioneer. Now, all those are gone. All the seats in the colleges are vacant. You will be surprised to know. So first we must train the parents, and then we must give some kind of brainwash to the youth that they must get into industry. That alone first will solve the problem. Just saying that, telling the industry you must employ, otherwise I will do this, I will do that. Penalty of 10,000 rupees to 25,000 rupees, and it can go up to 1 lakh. This is all, in my opinion, sort of atrocious.
Well, Sanket Yanagi, how would you respond? Should the focus have been on skilling, like Mr. Sampath Raman is saying? Should the focus have been on trying to encourage more youth, more people in Karnataka to take to the kind of jobs that are required or that are being serviced by people from outside Karnataka? Or is the route this kind of a bill?
First of all, let us analyze the situation from the previous year's manifesto. The Congress has made it a part of its manifesto. People have voted the Congress. Congress said it will reserve the employment for the Kannadigas. And now it is committing to the people, and it has committed the people, and it is implementing it. Its pros and cons which are being discussed are other part of it. But one thing, Karnataka has maximum number of engineering and polytechnic colleges. Karnataka people, and there are land losers in Karnataka who have lost land for the industries in Karnataka. Karnataka people are contributing more to the industries in various other aspects too. So it is quite obvious for the Kannadigas to expect that they should get the preference. In every state it is quite so. But this is one aspect of saying that Kannadigas should only get preference and not others. May not be justifiable or reasonable, but they should get the first preference. In case there is no opportunity for Kannadigas, then it may not be doing justice, especially for the government which is being voted for Kannadigas. So they look at that parameters. But keeping that aside for a moment, if you look at the state government which has to follow Raj Dharma for all, Raj Dharma means not distinguish whether it's Kannadiga or others. That is the other aspect of it. But more preference and preferential treatment would be for the Kannadigas who have voted for them. It is for any political party, whether it's Kannadigas voting for BJP or for a Congress, that does not make any difference.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, what matters to the people is that what assurance the government has given, has it been implemented toward them again? If it has been done so, that matters.
Right.
But the question of legality is another aspect which will be dealt with the courts, which we will not be discussing here. Whether it is constitutionally valid, whether it is discriminatory, whether it is taking away someone's employment. These are other aspects which we will not be discussing here.
Because is it a direct infringement on the right to life That's one simple and right to earning, right to livelihood. So these are two aspects which come into place, because you may say that if somebody is equally skilled, if there are three people who are equally skilled and one of them is Kannadiga, you should give a preference if the company is based in Karnataka. But if you say that 70% reservation is mandated for a Kannadiga, then is that not a serious compromise of merit and also the ability of somebody else to deliver better? And also the employer, because it's an infringement upon their right to life and livelihood also. I'm just putting in this dynamic. Mr. Sampath Raman wanted to say something, and then I'll come back to you, Sanketji. Bhaskarji and Abhijit Mitra coming to you after that.
See, state sentiments.
Exactly. In fact, the industries do not say that they don't want local people at all. They are too willing to take them. And then, in fact, I am a Kannadiga, I am too willing to take a Kannadiga. But the Kannadiga doesn't want to come to me. What do I do? State may have given it in the manifesto, but if it is impractical, they have to withdraw that. Simple.
Right.
So it is not only unconstitutional, in Haryana it has been struck by High Court.
And Andhra Pradesh also.
In AP it will happen soon. Only 2 states have done that.
Correct.
The same thing will happen in
See,
Karnataka. The court will strike it down.
Correct. Now one can...
Practicality is what you should look at.
Exactly. What is a practical solution to a commitment that has been made? Now, reservation and we'll give jobs to Kannadigas can be a poll promise. But how do I effect that? Have I actually worked towards making those people skillful enough to be competitive? Because then you don't have to reserve jobs only in Karnataka. They can work anywhere in the country. They can go anywhere in the country because they will be wanted. Any skillful labor, any workforce which has got the ability to deliver will always be in demand. That's the humble submission. Yes, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, Abhijit Mitra, and then we'll circle back to you, Sanketji. Yeah.
The state sentiments and jobs are an extremely sensitive issue, and it is a very hot nerve to be tinkered around with. As Bharatiya Janata Party, we have the highest regard for our Kannada Asmita, our land, language, culture, people, river and forests. But to bring in a law like this and make an overnight change in employment is not something which the present political party is aiming to do. They have a different agenda of hiding their own scams and corruption, etc., to see that the attention is diverted. And as our learned industrialist Mr. Sampath Raman has pointed out, you have to create an environment. You cannot bulldoze and try to say that this is the way to do it and we have a quick fix solution for employment.
Right.
Invest more on skill development, invest more on entrepreneurship training, give more amount of support, encouragement, etc. So people, the best entrepreneurs are going to pick up the best people. And for your information, Kannadigas are well employed over there. It is not that Kannadigas are what you say, begging for jobs over there. Whoever and is well qualified, we have many universities here and they are getting jobs. No doubt Bangalore is a huge employment capital which draws people from all over the country. I have been the commissioner of police of this city over there. I have seen that every state of India is present here and people from 75 countries are also present here. So the need of the hour is not to hurry through some legislation and push the job creators and harass them, humiliate them. It's going to become another Inspector Raj, like Sampath was saying that they are going to have fines of 10,000, 25,000. That is not how it works over there. Over a period, Karnataka has been built to be an industrial destination, a destination where jobs are created, where excellence is being created. And a law like this is not going to be successful. It's going to be struck down with the constitution. It did not work in Haryana. It did not work in Andhra Pradesh. In fact, yes, regional sentiments are important. Everybody feels insecure about their own place having been taken over there. It is not just in Bangalore. People in Mumbai, once upon a time, the Shiv Sena was threatening Kannadigas. My father-in-law and my wife, they all work there, they stayed there. They're all been driven out from there. So this is going to be only an attention diversion tactics of the present government. It's a promise which can never be delivered. And every city has to grow, every country has to grow. And these same sentiments are there in the US, London and other international cities over here. You can't bulldoze entrepreneurs to hire people. Whosoever you are hiring,
right.
If you are paying money in their enterprise, then only you have a right to interfere in their employment policy over there. If it is a state-sponsored organization, then you do it.
Right, but
So
the
it is
larger
best left to the-
larger concern is each state should actually skill its workforce in a way that there
Exactly.
is a demand for
Instead
that
of
workforce
politicizing, there is
and
no need to politicize.
create opportunities. Reservation,
Very
is that
true.
the solution, or
You
creating
invest
meritorious
hand in
or a skillful workforce and
We
creating
can't
an
have
environment
a
for
short-term
that?
solution.
Yeah.
You have to have a long-term solution of investing on soft skills, hard
And
skills.
sir, and that
skill
applies
development,
across
etc.,
political
etc.,
parties and
higher
across
education.
state governments, irrespective of whether it is Congress, BJP,
Yeah.
or any other political party. Yes,
But this law is not good in intention, it's bad in intention.
Abhijit Iyer Mitra. They see, for the Congress party, they've come out and said very quickly. I'm just saying, they've come out and said, listen, we made a promise, we tried to implement it, it got blocked. Sorry, we'll try and wait and we'll try and do it some other time.
They should have
So
consulted
that's
people
one
like
box
Sampath
perhaps
Raman and
ticked
other
politically for them. But I'm saying larger case for me, larger concern for me is Bharat. And if we are going to be a Viksit Bharat, we need to have a skilled workforce. We need to have a 30-40 crore skilled workforce, because we are going to be the bank for the entire world, not just for individual states. Yes, Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Is anybody thinking on that matter, on that metric? Is a larger question. Yes, Abhijit Iyer Mitra.
I don't think they are, Anand. So, the first thing is, this is such a brain-dead law. I think the Congress actually calculated for it to be this vacuous so that it would get struck down in that sense. But let us just appreciate the kind of difficulty our industrialists have to endure. First, they don't get any subsidies. Any subsidy to an industry is a dirty word. Only farmers get subsidies. On top of that, the state passes on its burden, its social burden, onto every industry around. Corporate social responsibility. Why? Because the state can't do it, therefore industrialists should do it. Right? They get absolutely, in China, all the industries get rebates on, they get lead-in periods for effluent management, etc., etc. Nobody gets that out here. No industry gets that out here. Now, this is, this is sort of legislation from the supply side. Imagine what if states started legislating the demand side and saying Narayana Murthy and Sudha Murthy's Infosys can't invest in any particular state or employ from or run any or get only this much business from, say, Bihar, proportionate to the number of Biharis they employ. Imagine what if that kind of legislation was also done on top of this. You see, this is building down, this is scraping the bottom of the barrel. It is a very stark sign of governmental failure, where governments have to pass on, whose obligation is it to create jobs? Industrialists are already creating jobs. Like Mr. Sampath Raman said, do you think sitting in Bangalore, one is going to publish a advertisement in Anand Bazar Patrika or Jammu Kashmir national newspaper to get people to do basic factory floor jobs sitting in Bangalore? Obviously, it's going to be advertised in Bangalore. People there locally are going to apply for it. But you know what Mr. Sampath Raman said is so true. I have so many industrialist friends sitting in Bangalore who have a huge paucity of people willing to come and work out there. The other issue that he raised, which was very important, was dignity of labor. Nobody wants to work in a factory.
Correct.
They all want these quasi white-collar jobs.
Not just that. I think there are people who want to work in a factory if there is a guaranteed income, and plus if they are skilled enough, they will be employed also. See, you have to create an atmosphere of employability at every level. And that's how you push yourself and you improve the workforce of the country. I'm just saying, we are intelligent people on the panel, and I think this is food for thought. How are we collectively going to improve the quality of our workforce overall? If we actually want to be a manufacturing hub, irrespective of whether it is Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Bihar, anywhere, unless we have a skilled workforce and a quality workforce at all levels, we are going to have an issue. We are going to have a serious issue. Reservation is not the solution. That's where I'm going to park it for now. Thank you very much to all our panelists. Chief Minister Siddaramaia's post, where he has also said that the bill approved by Cabinet to provide reservation for Kannadigas in private sector organizations has been temporarily put on hold. This will be revisited and decided in the coming days. Brass Tacks with Zaka Jacob up next. Stay with us.